Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Valley City and the inaugural Bill Osmond Coaches Hall of Fame. It's great to see so many people here. I commend the families that came out and supported the inductees this evening, and we have a lot of great things in store in front of us. My name is Corey Anderson. I am the director of the University Foundation here at Valley City State University. And we're very fortunate to have a crew that's really helped us put things together. In the foundation office, Kim Hesh, many of you visit with on the phone, or Lori Morehouse, Larry Robinson, we still have him around working. He's over here. And then our crew that really that puts everything together. Mark Potts, our sports information director, you'll see him tonight walking around working, and then our crew that's doing the video. There'll be some things that we will produce here in the near future that I think will be really great for a historical perspective on what we have done with the university and the contributions that this group has made to the success of Valley City State. With that, I'm going to turn it over briefly to our president, Dr. Alan LaFave.
Thank you, Corey. Welcome, everyone. What an honor it is to be able to stand here this evening and look out on this crowd. The legacies that you've all left for so many. Just so proud. We welcome you back to Valley City. We welcome you to Valley City State University, and we welcome you home. This is going to be a fun evening, and it's one that has been in the planning for a long time. I too want to express my thanks to Corey, to the entire foundation staff, the athletic department here, our TV crew, all of the folks that are preserving this for time. We really appreciate all of their efforts. But more importantly, we appreciate you being here, the support of your families and friends, and just the fact that we can take a few minutes to honor your legacy for everything you did for VCSU. You know, there are a lot of good things happening at Valley City State. About a year ago, we were designated as the top elementary education program in the nation. And I know a lot of coaches went through that track. And so not only do we have a strong legacy of teachers, but we have an incredible legacy of successful coaches. And so we just want to thank you for everything you do to help shape and have helped shape so many young lives. The impact that you've had is really immeasurable. And that's what this evening is all about, for us to be able to honor you. So thanks for being here. Have a wonderful night of fellowship and celebration with your families, your friends, and your colleagues, and go Vikings.
I'm now going to call on a former Viking baseball player, basketball player, women's basketball head coach, men's basketball head coach, and now teaches in our education department. He's done pretty much everything. And I know the guys that played with him would refer to him as the governor, right? Al Olson. He'll give our table a blessing.
Let's say a quick prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for the food we're about to receive. Thank you for this time together. We're thankful for coaches who are being honored tonight and all those family members and people who supported these great coaches over the years. Many of us have been impacted by a coach who's made a difference in our lives. Coaches who've had a passion and joy for their sport. Coaches who've inspired us to dream and give our best effort. Coaches who've taught us we can accomplish more when we work well with others. Coaches who motivated us to believe we can be better. And coaches who've encouraged us to keep believing in ourselves even when times are difficult. We're thankful to have had coaches who are difference makers in our lives, and we appreciate the opportunity to celebrate the gifts of these outstanding coaches who made an impact on so many lives of so many people. Amen.
With that, you have your salads in front of you. Please dig in, and we'd like to thank the Eagles as well for the meal we will be receiving. Tonight we're here to honor excellence. And as you will come to find out, it is unprecedented excellence. The Coaches Hall of Fame is a new but long overdue addition to VCSU. The Valley City State University Coaching Hall of Fame, termed the Osmond Icon Award, honors individuals who have demonstrated a commitment of excellence in the field of coaching throughout their careers. The award is named in honor of the Viking icon, Coach Bill Osmond. Coach Osmond's teams won 24 conference championships in 4 different sports, making him the all-time winningest coach in Valley City State history, while also providing dedication and influential service during his tenure at Valley City State. Coach Osmond has representation here tonight. I would like to have his daughter, Carol, and granddaughter, Dana, please stand. They're in the back of the room. If they would stand and please be recognized. If you have the opportunity to see them later on tonight and tell them what Coach Osmond meant to you, I think they would certainly appreciate that. This inaugural class includes alumni from 5 different decades spanning 67 years. Combined, the class coached 9 different sports at the collegiate and high school level and won national championships and numerous National Coach of the Year awards. Some interesting facts regarding this group. 4 of the inductees tonight have received the VCSU Distinguished Alumni Service Award. 14 have been inducted into their respective state Coaches Hall of Fames. 3 have been named to the National High School Federation Coaches Hall of Fame, and numerous have been inducted into various Hall of Fames, including the Collegiate Hall of Fame, the National High School Coaches Hall of Fame, the National Junior College Hall of Fame, the NAI Hall of Fame, the Officials Hall of Fame, and the North Dakota Sports Hall of Fame. Quite a resume in itself. 85 total Coach of the Year awards amongst these 27 individuals. For national, we only had 100, and Perry Piotz won a golf championship at Kindred this year for the 101st state championship. We have one NCAA national championship that Lefty Blaskowski won when he was at West Texas A&M. And the total wins, well, we just couldn't even keep track of those. Good luck if you can figure out what all those are. As we, as a committee, started going through these things and seeing all the things that were accomplished, we wondered how could all this be done without AAU, JO, traveling teams, multi-sport. I just don't understand how you did all of this. With all those remarkable numbers, I am struck by the humble nature of each of the individuals that are going to be inducted tonight. You can tell that it was more than just the wins. Technical difficulties. Coach Dosh's career began in 1955 at Napoleon High School. After being drafted into the military in 1956, he was released early to take a position at Strasburg. He would coach and teach at Strasburg High School, St. Benedict's High School, Emmons Central High School, all in Strasburg from 1958 to 2001. In 35 years of football, 25 years of track, and 18 years of basketball from 1958 to 2001. From 63 to 1973, his football teams went 74-3. Coach Dosh's teams were either undefeated or had just one loss in 21 of his 35 seasons. Amazing. His 71 and 73 teams gave up 1 touchdown in each of those years in conference play. He's regarded as the master of the sleeper play, and players regarded him as the kindest and most humble man that they would know. He was an innovator in his time with 5 receiver sets and different offensive formations. He was selected as the Sports Illustrated North Dakota's top 50 sports of the 20th century coaches. Please welcome Coach Dosh, and would Coach Dosh's family and friends stand and be recognized, please. I understand last weekend in Bismarck at the Super Swing Golf Tournament that the last 4 holes he sunk about 120 feet of putts. So his golf game is really good. Our next inductee is Bob King, class of 1955. Coach King was in the very early one of Bill Osmond's first recruits from Enderlin, North Dakota, when he attended VCSU and earned 13 varsity letters. He began his coaching career in Pelican Rapids, Minnesota, along with stops in Milner and New Rockford before setting his roots in Valley City. Coach King was an integral member of the sports scene in North Dakota for more than 50 years. He is a member of 8 other Halls of Fame and was in the inaugural class of the North Dakota High School Coaches Association Hall of Fame. He's been a recipient of the VCSU Distinguished Alumni Award, and from what we understand was always a stickler for the fundamentals. As they said, they were playing in, New Rockford was playing at Fessenden, and they had a 33-0 lead at halftime. And he was not happy with how they were tackling. So they went out behind the bus at halftime and went full contact tackling. One of his other highlights was getting the opportunity to coach his son, Darren. And as Darren shared that he had dislocated a finger in a game, and he jogged to the sideline, to which Bob said to him, "You get back in there, I'll let you know when you're hurt." He was also quick to share with his grandkids that you'll get used to the pain. Coach King passed away in 2018, and accepting his award is Nancy King. Please welcome Bob King into the VCSU Osmond Coaches Hall of Fame. Would Coach King's family and friends please stand and be recognized that are in attendance tonight? Our next inductee is Jerry Olson, also in the VCSU class of 1955. Coach Olson was a native of Hoople, North Dakota, and was the head football coach at the University of North Dakota from 1968 to 1977. His football teams won the North Central Conference Championships in 71, 72, 74, and 75. He first served as an assistant coach at UND under Coach Marv Helling from 62 to 68, and then became the head coach. His Sioux teams were frequently ranked in the top 10 in the NCAA Division II, and he developed 52 all-conference players and 12 All-Americans. Coach Olson is also a member of the North Central Conference Hall of Fame. Jerry unfortunately could not be in attendance tonight, but let's congratulate him with a round of applause for his achievements. Our next inductee is Larry Buck Gruters, one of the legendary names in Valley City State athletics. After graduating from Valley City State in 1957, he proceeded to coach initially in Castleton, then on to Dickinson High School, where he won a state Class A track championship. Dr. Gruters returned to Valley City State in 1963 to teach and coach track and field and cross country, and serve as an assistant coach in men's basketball and football. Dr. Gruters helped Valley City State teams to several conference and district championships in numerous sports while at Valley City State. A not to be forgotten contribution during his time at VCSU was also serving as the athletic trainer. As was the case with many college coaches in the time, they served as officials in the off-season or sometimes during their season. Dr. Gruters is also inducted into the North Dakota Officials Hall of Fame. He's impacted the lives of many successful Vikings over a 44-year span, and is continually the most popular person who attends the alumni reunions each year. He's been an influential figure for many Valley City State alumni. In 2002, he received VCSU's Distinguished Alumni Award. Please welcome Dr. Buck Gruters into the Osmond Coaches Hall of Fame. Would Dr. Gruters' family and friends in attendance please stand and be recognized? Our next inductee is Don Lemnis, class of 1958. Coach Lemnis is a legendary bigger-than-life figure in the Valley City State athletic history. Coaching for 22 years at VCSC, and as part of the distinguished teaching and coaching career, he is another gem that Coach Osmond uncovered from Enderlin, North Dakota. Coach Lemnis proceeded to coach wrestling and football at Napoleon High School out of college, starting the school's wrestling program there, which has since experienced statewide success since that time. He then returned to Valley City State from 1962 to 1983. During his time at Valley City State, he left his successful mark as a head wrestling coach, the leader of many passionate defenses as a defensive coordinator for the football team, and also coached track and baseball. Lemnis is a member of several Hall of Fames, including the Wrestling Hall of Fame and the VCSU Athletics Hall of Fame. He's regarded as the best motivator in VCSU history. Every player that he coached would have a unique story about Coach Lemnis, and they continue to be told this day, as he's a popular topic of conversation whenever those players assemble. Please welcome Don Lemnis into the Osmond Coaches Hall of Fame. Would Coach Lemnis' family and friends in attendance please stand and be recognized? Our last inductee from the decade of the 50s is Jim McPherson. After graduating from Valley City State in 1959, McPherson began his 35-year high school coaching career in 1959 at Mott High School. He led Mott to back-to-back state championships in 61 and 62, and his team won a state record 55 games in a row during that stretch. McPherson went on to coach at Williston High School from 1963 to 1981 and guided his teams to state championships in 1968 and 1975, along with numerous state tournament appearances. He is already a member of the North Dakota High School Coaches Hall of Fame. Coach McPherson, as I told him earlier, was one of the first coaches that I can remember being interviewed on TV back in the day when we only had 3 channels and they were playing in the state tournament. And Jim Adelson loved to interview Coach McPherson. I'd love to be able to tell you that I could remember the things that you said. What I remember was the crazy sport coats you always wore. They were awesome. Please welcome Jim McPherson into the VCSU Osmond Coaches Hall of Fame. Any family and friends of Coach McPherson's, would you please stand and be recognized? Coach McPherson, did that guy sitting across from you ever officiate any of your games? Never. Yep. Our next inductee is Al Bortke. After graduating from Valley City State in 1960, Al went on to a successful and influential 36-year career in the dual role as athletic director and men's basketball coach at the University of Mary. Bortke sits atop the record book for wins at the University of Mary with 335 during his career. As Coach Al Olson stated, the University of Mary was a place you could not win when you played Coach Bortke there. Off the court, he was transforming a Mary athletic program that started with one sport, men's basketball, and grew to as many as 19 under his guidance, and became a national power in the NAI. He was the first inductee into the Marauder Hall of Fame and is also a member of the NAI Hall of Fame. In 2001, he received the VCSU Distinguished Alumni Award. Coach Bortke was highly regarded as both a coach, a mentor, and an administrator. Al passed away in 2015. Please welcome Linda Bortke as she accepts Al's induction into the Osmond Coaches Hall of Fame. Would any family and friends of Coach Bortke's please stand and be recognized? Our next inductee is Dick Stiles, class of 1961. Coach Stiles graduated from Valley City State in 1961 following a career where he competed in several sports for the Vikings. His career track started in Richland, Oregon, taking over a football program that had not won a game in 4 years. He won his debut 69-0, and 3 years later had the program in the state championship. His next job was at Estacada High School, where he started the girls track program and in 3 short years later won a state championship and was named the track coach of the year in 1969. During his 26 years coaching there, Stiles coached several highly successful high jumpers, including Tom Woods, who went on to set an NCAA meet record and eventually won the USA National Championship. Along the way, his reputation in the jumping community also gave him the opportunity to work with Olympian Dwight Stones and NCAA champion Joni Hutley. Stiles was a member of 6 different Valley City State teams that have been inducted into the VCSU Hall of Fame. Please welcome Dick Stiles into the VCSU Osmond Coaches Hall of Fame. Any family and friends in attendance for Coach Stiles, if you please stand and be recognized. Our next inductee is Owen Jensen, class of 1965. Owen Jensen was an influential figure in North Dakota track and field history, working 28 years as the head men's coach at the North Dakota State College of Science. During his distinguished career, Jensen guided the NDSCS men's track and field teams to numerous championships and countless individual champions. He was a 5-time Coach of the Year and coached 27 National Junior College All-Americans and 44 National Junior College Academic All-Americans. Jensen was inducted into the National Junior College Athletic Association Track and Field Hall of Fame and the NDSCS Athletic Hall of Fame. He had the honor to serve as a javelin official at the Olympic Games in 1996 and was an assistant manager for the World University Games. Jensen was also named the NDSCS Outstanding Educator of the Year. The NDSCS track facility is named the O.J. and D. Jensen Track after Owen and his wife Dee, the longtime women's coach at the North Dakota State College of Science. During his career, Owen also coached basketball and track and field at Midway High School, Adams High School, and Sheldon High School. O.J. passed away in 2002. Accepting his award today is Dee Jensen. Dee, would you please come forward? Dee, we're going to make you stay there, please, because you are our next inductee. Dee is a 1966 graduate of Valley City State. She went on to a legendary and influential coaching career in North Dakota track and field. Jensen worked 28 years as the head women's track and field coach at North Dakota State College of Science. She coached 7 NJCA individual national champions and 33 junior college All-Americans. Her teams won 10 championships and had 95 region individual event champions. Jensen was a 9-time Coach of the Year and was named the National Junior College Women's Outdoor Coach of the Year. She had the honor to serve as the head high jump official for the 1996 Olympic Games. She was also an Olympic official in 1984 and has had numerous awards from the USA Track and Field. She is a member of the USA Track and Field National Officials Hall of Fame, the National Junior College Track and Field Coaches Hall of Fame, and to this day continues to officiate local, state, and national meets. She was previously awarded the VCSU Distinguished Alumni Award in 2000 and is a valued member of the VCSU Foundation Board currently. The Jensen family did as much to promote track and field as anyone in the region. They've impacted the generations of track and field athletes. Please welcome Dee Jensen into the VCSU Osmond Coaches Hall of Fame. Any family and friends in attendance of Dee's, please stand and be recognized. Our next inductee is Dwight Lear, class of 1968. After graduating from Valley City State in 1968, Lear began his 35-year teaching and coaching career at Esmond High School and continued to coach and teach Esmond Maddock until 2002. At the time of his retirement, he was the winningest 9-man football coach in North Dakota history. He guided Esmond to the state championship in 1974 amongst numerous region and state playoff appearances. He's been selected as both the state and national Coach of the Year, and he's already a member of the VCSU Athletics Hall of Fame, the North Dakota High School Coaches Hall of Fame, and the National High School Coaches Hall of Fame, and the North Dakota Softball Hall of Fame. Outside of coaching, Lear was instrumental in the establishment of the North Dakota High School playoff system and the All-State award process. A special event for Coach Lear was attending a football game a few years back featuring Minnesota State Mankato and the University of Minnesota Crookston. Both of those head coaches were players that he had had at Esmond Maddock. Todd Hoffner at Minnesota State, who's in attendance tonight, and Mark Duffner, who was at University of Minnesota Crookston. Both graduates of Maddock Esmond football program and both alumni of VCSU. Please welcome Dwight Lear into the VCSU Osmond Coaches Hall of Fame. Would family and friends of Coach Lear please stand and be recognized? So while those two are still standing, stay standing. We want to wish a happy 52nd anniversary, wedding anniversary as well. So one more kiss for the group. You're on the kiss cam. From what I understand from your children, you didn't get to celebrate that 2 years ago because of the pandemic, so you'll get that opportunity. Our next inductee is Diane Lovick-Mosier. After graduating from Valley City State in 1973, Diane began her coaching and teaching career at Tongue River High School in Dayton, Wyoming, where she spent her entire 41-year coaching career, achieving legendary status as a basketball coach. She compiled a 718 and 212 win-loss record, which is tied for the most coaching victories in Wyoming school history. Her teams also won 9 state championships and finished in the top 3 at state a total of 22 times. She is a 9-time recipient of the Wyoming Coaches Association Coach of the Year, and she's previously been inducted into the Wyoming Coaches Association Hall of Fame and the National Coaches Association Hall of Fame. Diane regretfully could not attend this evening, but let's give her a round of applause for joining the VCSU Osmond Coaches Hall of Fame. I will also tell you, Diane was nominated by 7 different individuals. A lot of people who really stepped to the plate for her. Our next inductee is Rod Oxendahl, class of 1973. Rod is recognized as one of the top football coaches in North Dakota high school football history, guiding his teams to more than 300 wins and 5 state championships. Oxendahl's head coaching stints began in Hosmer, South Dakota, and Wyndmere before landing in Cavalier, where he would coach for the next 28 years, leading his team to 4 state championships, including 3 straight from 2002 to 2004. During that stretch, Cavalier won 47 straight games. After his distinguished career at Cavalier, Oxendahl went on to coach at Fargo-Shanley High School, where his teams went 56-14 and won a state championship. Oxendahl also coached baseball during his career, helping the Cavalier High School baseball team to more than 200 wins and 3 state championships. He's a 7-time North Dakota Coach of the Year and was also a recipient of the Associated Press Male Coach of the Year twice. Oxendahl had previously been inducted into the NDHSCA Hall of Fame and the National High School Coaches Hall of Fame. He's also received the VCSU Award of Merit. Please welcome Coach Oxendahl into the VCSU Osmond Coaches Hall of Fame. Any family or friends in attendance, please stand and be recognized. Our next inductee is Craig Murray. A native of Edgeley, North Dakota, Craig transferred to Valley City State after playing 2 years of basketball at the University of North Dakota. Craig began his high school teaching and coaching career at Raymond High School in Minnesota, and also included a stop at Harvey High School before he started at Fargo-Shanley High School in 1978. At Shanley, Murray led the girls basketball teams to 4 state championships. The 1982 team went undefeated en route to a Class A state title. Murray was named the Class A Coach of the Year in 1980 and in 1981, and won the 1983 Kellogg's Coach of the Year. During his career, Murray also coached football, track, and boys basketball, leading the Shanley boys team to the state tournament in 1992. Craig passed away in 2017. Here to accept his award and induction into the VCSU Osmond Coaches Hall of Fame is Karen Murray. Would any family and friends of Coach Murray please stand and be recognized? Our next inductee is Brian Anderson. Brian has coached for 48 years and guided his teams to an amazing 20 state championships during a distinguished career in high school athletics. A 1974 graduate of Valley City State, Anderson's coaching career has included boys and girls basketball, boys and girls track and field, boys and girls golf, baseball, junior high football, and boys and girls cross country. Most recently, Anderson coached the dominating Newtown High School boys cross country team, which has won 14 state titles since 2004. Including 8 straight from 2012 to 2019. 8 different Newtown runners have won individual state championships since 2004. Anderson was named the Boys Cross Country National Coach of the Year in 2017. He is a 12-time North Dakota State Coach of the Year award winner and is a member of the North Dakota Coaches Hall of Fame. He will be inducted into the National Coaches Hall of Fame in 2022, this coming summer. Please welcome Brian Anderson into the VCSU Osmond Coaches Hall of Fame. Would any family and friends of Coach Anderson's please stand and be recognized? Molly Anderson, would you stay standing, please? I'm going to take this time to just let everybody know that Molly Anderson will be inducted into the Viking Athletic Hall of Fame this coming September. Our next inductee is Gary Schauer. Coach Schauer coached for 42 years in several North Dakota schools, starting his career at Bowdoin High School in 1974 and finishing at South Border in 2016. In 27 years as a girls' head basketball coach, Schauer guided his team to an amazing 545 total wins, 10 region championships, 3 state runner-up finishes, and 2 state championships. His girls' track and field teams won 6 conference titles and 2 region championships. Throughout his career, Schauer coached 105 seasons as either a head or an assistant coach and coached for 7 different schools in North Dakota. He's a member of the North Dakota Coaches Hall of Fame and was inducted into the National Coaches Hall of Fame in 2016. Please welcome Gary Schauer into the VCSU Osmond Coaches Hall of Fame. Would any family and friends of Coach Showers please stand and be recognized? I know we still have one to go later, but what's in the water in Maddock Esmond? Whiskey, probably, JD, right? Our next inductee is Tim Jacobson, class of 1977. After playing college basketball for Valley City State, Tim turned to the coaching ranks following his graduation in 1977. Jacobson has gone on to coach basketball for more than 40 years, including 37 years as a head coach in both boys and girls basketball. In 1985, Jacobson coached the Findlay Sharon girls basketball team to its first Class B state championship before having a long career at Shanley High School, where his teams won 5 additional state championships. The girls team won 3 straight titles from 2014 to 2016 and had a 76-game winning streak during that time. Quite a dynasty. On the boys' side, Jacobson coached Shanley to back-to-back state titles in 97 and 98, teams that included his sons. During his career, Jacobson also spent time at the collegiate level, coaching 2 years at Lake Region, where his teams won the national title both seasons, the regional title both seasons, and advanced to the national tournament. He most recently worked as an assistant coach at North Dakota State College of Science for his son Adam, and the team advanced to the 2022 national tournament. Please welcome Tim Jacobson into the VCSU Coaches Hall of Fame. Would any family and friends in attendance of Coach Jacobson's please stand and be recognized? Our next inductee is Dave Bass, class of 1977. You'll see on the screen just some of his accomplishments. Little did Valley City State know that what they did when they hired Dave in 1981. It would not only be hiring its greatest asset, but its greatest advocate. Valley City State didn't just gain a coach that day when they hired him. They gained a great professor, a great faculty athletic rep, a great fan, a great psychologist, a great optimist, a great ambassador and mentor that the university will ever see. From 1981 on, all the athletes that Dave has worked with will receive amazing things from their time with him. As we get on in this program and induct more people into the future, there will not be a person that attended Valley City State from 1981 on that goes into this Hall of Fame that will not tell you how much that gentleman means to them. Dave Cressup, Mark Brown, Lefty Blaskowski, Perry Piotz, Greg Hochul. The list will continue to grow. We can measure a lot of things by wins and losses, but we will never be able to measure the impact that this gentleman has had on the community of Valley City and the students and student athletes here, and not just at Valley City State, but at our conference schools and all over across the country. He is a tireless advocate. He recruits nonstop. He does so many things that we cannot even measure. We talk a lot about the Mount Rushmore of coaches at Valley City State and who would be on that. And there's a lot of people that we could say. And I'm going to say Dave maybe isn't that one, but you know Crazy Horse, it's off by itself. Dave Bass is in an area all by himself. And I know that he will say that all the credit goes to those that came before him. And I know that he learned a lot by working with Coach Osmond, Coach Lemnis, Coach Gruters. The list goes on. The people that he attended school with, Coach Jacobson, the others that, it's endless. But I can't say enough about what this young man means to the university. With that, we would like to present for induction into the VCSU Osmond Coaches Hall of Fame, Dave Bass. I know that Dave's wife, Patty, is in attendance tonight. I'd love to have her stand up. She's waving. But I'm going to ask any of you that have been impacted by Dave Bass in your life to please stand up. I'm going to pay for that later, aren't I? Our next inductee is Jim Trett. After graduating from Valley City State in 1979, Trett started his teaching and coaching career at Northwestern High School in South Dakota. Trett coached track, football, and basketball for the next 33 years in South Dakota and guided his basketball teams to 577 wins and 4 state titles. He guided the Northwestern boys basketball team to state championships in 1989 and 1991. Trett led Washington High School in Sioux Falls to the Class AA state titles in both 2001 and 2003. At Northwestern and Washington, Trett's teams made 18 trips to the state tournament. He received the 1990 State Coach of the Year honor and was also a National Coach of the Year finalist in 2004. Trett has received the Distinguished Service Award from Valley City State and is a member of several Hall of Fames, including the Basketball Coaches Association and the South Dakota Basketball Coaches Association Hall of Fame. Outside of coaching, Trett taught in the classroom for 43 years, and he's known for his enthusiasm and his motivation. Please welcome Jim Trett into the VCSU Coaches Hall of Fame. Any family and friends of Coach Trett, please stand and be recognized. Our next inductee is Kathy Berglund. Berglund graduated from Valley City State in 1979 and moved on to a career as a teacher and coach in Hazen, North Dakota. She has coached golf at Hazen for 25 years, including 19 years as the head girls golf coach. During her time, she guided the girls golf team to 18 regional titles, 7 state championships, and 9 state runner-up finishes. Her girls golf teams had 174 multi-team meet victories. She was a 13-time Region Coach of the Year and an 11-time State Girls Golf Coach of the Year. Berglund was the North Dakota High School Coaches Association National Coach of the Year in 2015. She also won 2 other National Coach of the Year awards and was inducted into the National Coaches Hall of Fame in 2016. She's previously received the VCSU Certificate of Merit Award. Would you please welcome Kathy Berglund into the VCSU Coaches Hall of Fame? Our next inductee is Daryl Berglund. Berglund graduated from Valley City State in 1979. He began his teaching and coaching career at Hankinson High School before taking a position at Hazen in 1981. At Hazen, Berglund worked for 33 years as the head boys golf coach and assistant basketball coach. During his time at Hazen, Berglund coached the girls' golf teams to 9 regional titles, 3 state championships, and 4 state runner-up finishes. He was named the North Dakota High School Coaches Association Regional Boys Coach of the Year 11 times and was selected as the State Boys Coach of the Year 7 times. In 2010, Berglund was named the National High School Coaches Association Boys National Coach of the Year. He's already received the VCSU Certificate of Merit Award and is a member of the North Dakota High School Coaches Hall of Fame and the Enderlin High School Wall of Fame, or Wall of Honor. Again, what's in the Enderlin water? How about that for a power golfing couple in that household? Please welcome Daryl Berglund into the VCSU Osmond Coaches Hall of Fame. Kathy and Daryl, I think that Coach Dosh is sizing you guys up for a putt-off later. Would any family and friends of the Berglunds please stand and be recognized? Our next inductee is Mark Brown. Mark won 5 state championships during his distinguished girls basketball coaching career in Lyman, Colorado. Brown started his coaching career while student teaching in Esmond during the 83-84 season. After completing his Valley City State degree in 1984, Brown coached basketball and track and field for 6 years in Newburgh, North Dakota. From there, he moved to Lyman, Colorado, where he coached the next 23 years, including 21 as the head girls basketball coach. His teams won 5 state titles while he was the head coach at Lyman and posted a 349-128 record. In 6 state tournament appearances, Lyman had a 17-1 record. The team finished 3rd in 2001 before winning titles in 2002, 2003, 2005, 2006, and 2007. Brown was a 2-time 2A Girls Coach of the Year in Colorado, and was also named the Denver Post All Classifications Coach of the Year in 2007. His 349 career wins rank him 19th in Colorado history. Brown played and learned under the tutelage of 2 inductees previously honored tonight in Dwight Lear and Dave Bass. Please welcome Mark Brown into the VCSU Osmond Coaches Hall of Fame. Would family and friends of Mark Brown please stand and be recognized? We know the tight-knit community at Valley City State, and it's fitting that Mark Brown would be followed by his college roommate, Dave Cressup, our next inductee into the VCSU Coaches Hall of Fame. After earning his degree from Valley City State, Cressup went on to a teaching and coaching career that included stops in Upham and Walhalla before Cressup took the job at Perham High School in 1995 and has been there ever since. He's won more than 600 games as the boys basketball coach at Perham. His 2011 team won the state title, and he has coached boys basketball team to 5 state tournament appearances. He was named the State Coach of the Year in Minnesota in both 2011 and 2019 and earned the National Coach of the Year honor in 2011. When Cressup earned his 600th win in 2020, he was one of just 7 active coaches in Minnesota to achieve that honor. Cressup has also coached boys and girls tennis for more than 20 years. His former players will always tell you the positive impact that Dave has had in their lives. It's never about the wins, it's always about the passion for the players. Please welcome Dave Cressup into the VCSU Coaches Hall of Fame. Family and friends of Dave, please stand and be recognized. Also a pretty powerful household, as Dave's wife Terry was inducted into the Athletic Hall of Fame this past fall. Our next inductee is Kevin Blaskowski, affectionately known as Lefty in Valley City. He started his collegiate career at Valley City State working as a student coach for baseball, men's basketball, and women's basketball while earning his degree. Before becoming a full-time coach, he also served as the sports editor for the Valley City Times-Record, where undoubtedly he found all the answers to coaching as he wrote his articles. His first collegiate head coaching job was the women's basketball coach at Dodge City Community College. Blaskowski's collegiate softball career began in 1991 at Kansas Wesleyan, where he served as the head women's basketball coach also. Lefty started the softball program there and at 3 other different schools: Phillips University, Southern Arkansas University, and West Texas A&M. During his 25 years as a college coach, Blaskowski's softball teams have won 813 games and 8 conference titles. He worked 13 of those years at West Texas A&M, where his softball team had 7 40-win seasons, including 2 50-win seasons and a 60-win season in 2014. That 2014 team went on to win the Division II National Championship, and Blaskowski was named the National Coach of the Year. West Texas A&M was ranked number 1 in the nation for a record 29 straight polls. When adding his college victories in basketball, Lefty has won over 1,000 collegiate games as a head coach. Currently, he owns the Coach B Softball Academy, a softball training facility in Denton, Texas, and he serves as the National Director for the American Freedom Softball. Please welcome Lefty Blaskowski into the VCSU Coaches Hall of Fame. Would the family and friends of Coach Blaskowski please stand and be recognized? I know there's some in the back as well. Our next inductee is Perry Piatz. After graduating from Valley City State in 1986, Piatz began his 35-year coaching career at Gackle Streeter High School before moving to Kindred High School in 1999, where he continues to coach to this day. He most recently guided the Kindred boys golf team to the 2022 state championship. During his time in Kindred, Piatz held various roles as the head boys and girls golf coach, head boys and girls basketball coach, athletic director, and most recently as an assistant girls basketball coach. His 2017 Kindred girls team won the Class B state tournament. Piatz has coached Kindred's golf teams to 8 state championships, and he is a 4-time state coach of the year. Perry was inducted into the North Dakota High School Coaches Hall of Fame in 2020. Former players have chimed in on Coach Piatz, saying his ability to think on his feet and draw up plays with a second's notice is like no other. But what makes him special is that his coaching extends past the 18th green or after the final buzzer. He's someone that we all know we could rely on during a game, after a round, and in life. Please welcome Perry Piatz into the VCSU Coaches Hall of Fame. This is normally where I would ask for the family and friends of Perry Piatz to stand. His wife Sandy is in attendance. She will stand. Perry comes from a very large Napoleon family. It's very large. They would have been in attendance tonight, but there is a wedding dance in Napoleon, and that took precedence. So. I'll hear about that later too. Our next inductee is Carolyn Olson. A 1987 graduate of Valley City State, Coach Olson has gone on to a legendary volleyball coaching career in North Dakota. Olson led Grand Forks Red River for 24 seasons from 1994 to 2018. During that time, the Riders won 6 state titles, including 2 undefeated seasons. Her Grand Forks teams made 9 appearances in the state championship match. She's earned the North Dakota High School Coach of the Year award 8 times and was named the National Coach of the Year in 2014-15. In 2019, Olson took over as the head coach at Fargo Davies and proceeded to guide the team to a state championship. She has coached for more than 30 years, and her teams have racked up more than 600 wins in her career. Olson has previously been inducted into the North Dakota Coaches Hall of Fame in 2016 and the National High School Coaches Association Hall of Fame in 2019. Please welcome Carolyn Olson into the VCSU Osmond Coaches Hall of Fame. Will the family and friends of Coach Olson please stand and be recognized? We move into our 5th decade with our last inductee of the evening. From the class of 1990 is Greg Hochul. Greg has coached for 32 years at Carrington, North Dakota, spending his entire career as a Cardinal. Since graduating from Valley City State in 1990, Hochul has been the head girls and boys track and field coach at Carrington High School. He has also worked 28 years as the defensive coordinator for the football program and recently took on the job as the head archery coach. That's how he gets those kids to run fast. Hochul has coached the girls track and field teams to 9 state championships and 2 runner-up finishes. He's also coached He's also had state runner-up finishes in boys track and in football. Hochul is a 10-time state coach of the year. Combined, Hochul's boys and girls track teams have won 26 regional titles during his time in Carrington. He's had a team named the AP Team of the Year in North Dakota, and also guided his girls track team to an undefeated season, a nearly impossible feat in track and field. 6 of Hochul's athletes have been named Senior Athletes of the Year in North Dakota. Hochul also coached Jim Kleinsasser, one of the top athletes in North Dakota history, in both football and in track and field. Please welcome Greg Hochul into the VCSU Osmond Coaches Hall of Fame. Would any family and friends in attendance please stand? Coach Hochul. That's an impressive list. Wow. If we could can the things that have taken place in this room tonight and put all that expertise, we would have a lot of things going forward that would be positive. We'll be asking our honored guests tonight to spend a couple minutes with us behind the screen back there. I will come and get you. We will be recording a few question and answers for those people that have been inducted tonight. Our plan is to put together a formal program that we will have out on YouTube soon. That is the conclusion of our formal program. So please stay around, let the fellowship continue, and those of you that have been inducted, I will come and get you as we proceed. Thank you.
Well, before I got to Valley City State, I started college, and I was out of college for a while, playing amateur ball. I got a call from Coach Paisley. They got a covered play here, and without that opportunity, I would never have gotten the tremendous impact. Got a second chance in life, and it gave me an opportunity to have a wonderful career. So, unbelievable impact. Well, it means a lot to me, it means a lot to my family. And to be honored with these people, some of the greatest coaches in the history of this state and other states, it's just a humbling experience. I know from all the coaches that I worked with and the coaches that I went into this whole thing with, a lot of hard work, a lot of passion, a lot of energy, determination, just a love for the game and a love for kids.
Well, I feel it's really an honor to be given this award, and I think it's attributed to many of the outstanding players we've had, and also mostly to my family and my wife, who were very supportive all the careers, years of coaching that I had.
Well, Coach Osmond was quite the gentleman. I interviewed for a job down here, and I went in to see the president of the college, and he said, Osmond said it's good enough for him, and that's good enough for me. And I can give you an example that we had a great relationship all those years, had some fine athletes. I'm proud to be a part of this total situation.
Coach Osmond was a very professional person. We were good friends, but we kept it at a level of really high quality and so forth. No cutting corners. He was a tough one, tough taskmaster, and he ran good programs, but he was always very honest, very quality person.
One of the greatest times of my life was playing 3 years for Bill Osmond. It was a very sensational time. It's hard to put it in words how much fun it was to play for him.
And as a coach, he taught me a real distinct lesson. If you have somebody with a lot of skills, let them use them. And that's what he taught me. And I think the teams we had, were all that way. You could use your skills with Bill. He didn't hold you back. Loved the man. Better understand the kids of the day because they change from decade to decade, and that's the big thing. You have to understand where they're at and where they're coming from, but they're still going to require the discipline to be an athlete.
I would think, in addition to that, honesty and respect, two-way street, respect, coach-player relationship.
No advice that has not been spoken before, but all of the things that have been said here this evening, when you hear the coaches, believe in the young athlete too, and understand what they're going through. I think it's a big part of life.
Yeah, I think a lot has changed in the last few years, and I think the coach a lot of times has to be maybe the father or the head of the family and so forth. And kids have to learn that respect, and a lot of times they don't have it these days, and they're going to have to learn it.
Well, thanks to Bill. That's all I can say.
Yes, Bill was a personal friend of me and my family. And like I said, very honest individual, very professional, outstanding man.
I would like to say that I think that the people that are responsible for creating this Bill Osmond deal should be granted a big thank you to let people know what we think of the times that we spent here. I really believe that.
I think too that we come here, we come to the college every so often, but we become a kind of a family. You know, we love each other. We've been through an awful lot over the years. We come back and still enjoy each other's company and so forth.
Well, I grew up in Valley City, and Coach Osmond walked on water, and I always wanted to play for him. And the athletes that we had here before I got here were all heroes and stuff, and I wanted to be one of them. And so I turned down some offers, Montana, Minnesota, or whatever, but it's the greatest thing I ever did is come to school here. My sophomore year, I was in the National Guard, and they called me in, and Colonel Lyon said, we want you to go to OCS school and become an officer, spend 20 years in the Army and, retire and blah, blah, blah. And he said, you'll retire for the rest of your life. And I thought, gee, that's something interesting. I'd go back to the college after that day in the Guard, and I'm at my dorm, the third floor of the men's dorm over there, and we're right across the hall from the phone. Phone rings. Pick it up, and the guy said, I'm the principal at Washington High School, our grade school. I've got 15 fifth graders that want to learn how to play basketball. And he said, I talked to Coach Osmond, and he suggested you to coach those fifth graders. And so to make the story short, am I going to become an officer in the Guard, or am I going to become a coach? I took the coaching job, and for no pay or anything. The city here had a league and all that. And the first two games, we never scored a point. And then we started scoring, and we ended up winning the city title. And that got to me. Those little kids went from here to wherever. And so I went to Osmond, and I said, I want to take that coaching job, and I appreciate you. And he says, listen, Stiles, you could be a hell of a coach, but you got to start going to class, and all that put together was a turning point in my life. And I'll tell you this real quick. 7 years later, I got a phone call out there in Oregon. Are you Dick Stiles that used to coach a fifth grade basketball team, blah, blah, blah? And I says, yeah. He says, you remember telling that team that if they continue to work that hard, that they could go to the state tournament when they get into high school. He said, we're there, Coach. We made it, and we just wanted to let you know. That really impressed me.
I know he would have been very humble, number one. Yes, he's in a number of Hall of Fames, but Valley City State would always be his first love, always.
I would say watching how he built relationships with players. That was probably the biggest thing I learned.
I would say his leadership style. We remember him more as an administrator, probably, but it's kind of the same thing. How he was can be tough at times, but always built relationships with the players and the people that work for him.
Yeah, and I'd piggyback off what these two said, building relationships and treat every athlete the same, whether they're your star or a kid who might not see the field much. Treat everyone with grace, be humble, and from that you'll build solid relationships.
Pretty impressive group.
That's what I think. Valley City State produced a lot of awesome coaches.
And small town coaches, people that came from the small towns.
Al always said that some of the finest coaches always came out of Valley City State. And while he was here, he had the opportunity to coach, assistant coach up at the high school at that time in St. Catharines. And by doing that, he learned a lot about coaching. And Coach Osmond actually had recruited him as a freshman. And though he didn't play, he went on to coach, like I said, at St. Catharines. And he always just thought so much of Valley City State, and this is where he wanted to be.
Well, there's no question that his relationship with his players. You could see that his intensity and so on carried over to the players on the court. And I just think that led to the success that he had in the years at U Mary there.
It was a wonderful evening.
Oh, it was a great evening. Great evening. It was good to see a lot of the people I recognized that I either went to school with or coached, refereed for them, so on. You did an excellent job of organizing it, Corey.
Oh,
Yep. Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So
Al would have loved to see his colleagues and so many of the fine coaches that have graduated from the Valley City State.
The campus itself and the energy and the investment of not only the teachers but the coaches in us as individuals motivated us, inspired us, caused us to strive to emulate the greatness that's already here at Valley City State.
I really think it was the fact that the girls knew I cared about them. They weren't just a product, something to do after school. They had to know that a coach valued them for more than what they could do for you as an athlete. And I got that from here. Valley City State coaches were exactly like that.
First of all, I think it took me a couple years to learn this, but I think in order to be a successful coach nowadays, to motivate kids, you have to be able to get on them and stuff. But in order to motivate kids, I think you have to establish some sort of a relationship with them first, because I think to get them to work hard and really get after it, like I've said, they have to know that it's not just because they can do something for you on the field or whatever. They want to, you got to let them know that somehow establish relationships so they know that you care about them as a person and they'll give you 110%.
Well, for me, it was definitely an advantage. My husband competed in track and field and cross country in college. I didn't have that opportunity. We discovered over a period of time where we had strengths and they might be weaknesses of the other person. And so that became an advantage, knowing what I coached best, what he coached best. And we learned from each other. And equally important, we learned from the athletes. It was a win-win.
I was his assistant in golf for a few years. And if any of our former athletes, golfers look at this, they're just going to laugh because we were very definite in our opinions and what we wanted to do in practice and things like that, but we made it work. The girls that I started coaching knew that if you want golf to be treated like a sport, they have to do the same thing. You have to give your all in practice, and it's not as easy as most people think. But he did help me with that quite a bit.
I think the biggest thing is, we treated the golf program like the boys and girls like one program, and I was probably a little more hard-nosed and structured than my wife was, but it was a great balance because she taught me how to be a little more personal with the kids, and it ended up being, even though, you know, as coaches we're probably all alphas. I'm an alpha male, she's an alpha female, and that can create problems. But aside from that, we were able to help each other out with our different styles, and together it made us both better, I think.
Well, I actually knew Bill Osmond. My husband knew him. And my husband actually was a work study for Bill Osmond. Bill Osmond was an icon. So the award being named after him is fitting. The influence he had on his campus, the influence he had as a teacher, as a coach, as an athletic director, it's the best name you could have given it. I am so proud and humbled to be a part of this.
It starts at the top, and you'll notice I was Valley City State College, not Valley City State University, but that personalization, it was from the time you first stepped onto this campus. Coaches, teachers, everything, but it started with him. You know, that's how he treated everybody.
Yeah, and you know, most of the people that we were around when we were here at Valley City State were all, you know, most of them were going into teaching and coaching and all that. And to be a part of an award like that, the biggest thing to me is when you start looking at the people that are, I mean, the hugely successful people that are a part of it. You know, it's kind of like saying, you know, I find myself saying, do I really belong with this group? Because holy cow, these people are, I mean, there's a lot of successful people here tonight.
Oh, I had a lot of great coaches that we had classes from and I played for at that time. And, you know, we had really good support from the community, and I just learned to love sports even more than I did before I got here. So it really affected my coaching and the way I looked at it in the future too.
Never go out for track with Coach Bass. That's what he'd say. No, tell you, Valley City State, I had Jerry Kringley as my basketball coach. He'd bring me in the office as calm and as cool as could be, and always told me, if as point guard, stay calm. You make sure you remember this. You always get your teammates the ball first, and then take care of yourself last. And I took that through all the way to my coaching career to make sure everybody else got it first and then worried about me later. And it just happened to be that way.
First, too many to mention, too many to talk about. I mean, every person that was on that stage tonight would be somebody who impacted my life. Every single one of them, going back to the very beginning. Reuters and Leibniz and just so many people that have had a huge influence on my life. Couldn't be luckier, couldn't be happier. I've lived a charmed life. And everything that happened because of those people. Al Borkey, Jim Dew, I could go on to name the people that have had an impact on me, including Tim Jacobson as a 200-meter sprinter in track and field, and Brian Anderson as a great Minnewacan basketball player. Remember that like happened yesterday.
Well, first of all, for me, it's very humbling to get it, even considered for it, and because when I was here at the college, Bill was a great example for everybody as to how to treat people in general. And that's what I took from him and Jerry Peterson, Jerry Kringley, Don Lemnis, Doc Reuters. No, I couldn't have been luckier to run into a better group of guys to take classes from and then be an athlete for.
And the same hold true for me with Doc Reuters. Taught me my first tape job, which I used for 50 years. And every kid I ever put it on loved it. It's the only thing I learned. But other than that, being a part of Valley City State is an honor. And to be a part of Bill Osmond and this award was even greater. Very humbled by it also. Never thought that I should be in the company of these guys. I mean, just being around them gives me chills. And so it has meant the world, and to my family, to be able to see their dad get something in life that he truly, truly loves.
Icon.
You know, and when you think of the terminology that you use for the Osmond Award, what an icon. And I think it would, for everybody that was up there tonight, it has to be a highlight in their career. The opportunity to be here and the records that people achieved, just an awesome night. So
I learned the importance of being on time, working hard, and just doing your best at all times. That was that was the main thing that I brought away from Valley City. We had Coach Gruters as our main coach in cross country and track, and he he had a regimen of training where we knew what we were going to do, and we got into it, and we competed well against each other. There were other coaches or athletes on the team that competed against each other, and they pushed each other, and we became champions in the end.
I think to just keep your nose to the grindstone. I think that's the thing that I think I've done through my career. I think that's one of the reasons, if I had any success, that was one of the reasons we did have it, was the hard work and the time I spent in the off season preparing for the next season and so forth.
Well, I think wherever you go, you're going to find great kids and great people to work with. And wherever you leave behind some great kids and great people too. But the success, it always takes a while. Every school you go to, it always takes 3-4 years to develop a program that fits both you and the kids. And you got to adjust yourself to the athletes you have and go from there. And expanding on what Rod just said too, in first years, it's kind of what you learn after you know it all that really counts. Sometimes we don't get smart soon enough. So it's an interesting combination. I was like Dwight too. I had Buck Rudis as my track coach, and he was a tremendous influence and positive influence on me.
To me, it's just an awesome award to be included with all these outstanding coaches, the awesome accomplishments that they've had. I'm just humbled to be part of it. I don't know if I deserve it or not, but I really feel humbled by being with this group.
Same here. Humbling, I think, is the key word. I think the number of people that you saw tonight that went into it were people that I looked up to during the years that I was going through high school, college, whatever, and very, very humbling experience to be here, and very thankful for the award.
And it's kind of the same. You're very humbled, because I grew up close to Al Dosh and in Strasburg down there, and he was always winning everything, and I was a national. We weren't, but it's humbling to be considered with that group of coaches and the caliber of coaches and the younger coaches like Greg Hochul, who's very well accomplished in track and field. So it's a tremendous honor to be considered with those guys. I'd say work ethic and caring about people would be number one, because you look at, they're all from Strasburg or Bass from Rockford or wherever, either way, they all came from small town North Dakota.
We had a cross country team where every one of us, except for one, was from a small North Dakota town, and we came to Valley City not with any fanfare or anything like that. We started out just average, and by the time that we were done, and by the time Coach Gruters had us finishing off our senior year, we improved so much, and we became the first champions of the NDCAC cross country in 1967.
Work ethic, no doubt. I think in a small town, and you end up learning how to work on the farm. You do a lot of things out there, and I just think it's a work ethic that we all have that from this school.
I kind of agree with Rod on that, because when you got done at the farm or you got done teaching, it's 5 or 6 o'clock. It's what do we do now? Sun's not down yet. So we're kind of used to that growing up on the farm and doing those things. So work ethic is number one.
He'd be humbled. He'd be very excited to see all these other people that he worked with and coached with, and it would have been a real blessing. Fantastic. We were married. right before his senior year, and he was there to support us all the time. Craig looked up to him so much. He was such a role model and such a great person to both of us.
You know, just honored. I look at it as an award for all of those athletes and administrators and parents that I've worked with over the years, and it's a nod to them and the work that those people have put in. So.
Well, one of the things, I had a great mentor in Dave Bass, and he's one that, of course, everybody mentions because he's been such an influence in everybody's life. And being able to come here and get involved in multiple sports and then being able to take that over into Carrington and coach, that was a great impact here at Valley. Great time.
You know, take those lessons that you learn in school. They matter. Be true to yourself. And I think just have a clear path of who you are as a coach going out and what your philosophy is, and stay true to that throughout.
Working with the athletes, that's if you're not in it to not only help them improve athletically, but help them grow up and be productive citizens when they leave. That's working with them is everything for a coach.
Just thank you to the university. Thank you for the recognition and feeling that coaching is worth the recognition.
Same thing that Caroline said.
I'm just so happy that I got a chance to coach under some great guys along the way. With Bob Hunsker in Newburgh, North Dakota, I learned a lot from him, and then moving on to Colorado and under another coach there, assistant coach for 2 years, and then took over the head job. But having like Greg Gruters, Buck Reuters and Dave Bass and Dwight Lear as my mentors, or people that I learned from when I was growing up. It's pretty special.
It's weird that you say that, Corey, because I'm going out and mentoring young coaches right now. I went to school and I tell them they better be surrounded by good people if they're younger, because we're losing so many younger coaches from the profession because they start too young with nobody around them. So the biggest advice I give them is make sure you surround yourself if you get put into a head role right away.
Well, it all started here. And I know that all of us standing here have talked about it. We can look back at the memories, but, just seeing Don Lemnis, Dave Bass, some of those people that were our teachers, now we're in a class going into a Hall of Fame with them. It all started here. And, the coaching classes and the mentorship from coaches and other athletes, because we all hung out together. It meant the world to me, and it's the reason I'm here.
It's different. It's definitely different. I'm not going to say which one's better. I don't want to go there, but they were both great, and I will never regret. I had the opportunity to coach my daughter in basketball, so that was a great joy for me. But like I said, I had so many good athletes and so many good kids, and now they've become great friends of mine, after it's all said and done. So I really cherished that part of it, and just getting to know these kids and coaching them and helping them be better people, hopefully in the future, just like all of our, mentors did for us. I started under Jerry Meyer in Jamestown High School, and tell you what, you learn discipline in a hurry. And so I think I took a lot of that when I was coaching young kids. And so I've had a lot of good people to learn from, and hopefully we did some good things for the young kids.
Means a lot. Just like I said, going back to Valley City and having all the coaches and then going out into coaching field, really didn't know what to expect, and ran cross country and track in college, and then turned into a girls basketball coach. So I'm just so happy I got a chance to do it. And just had a lot of good girls. Got to coach my daughter.
I think it, as we get older, we talk about the ends of our careers, or what do we want to be known for. I think this just brings it full circle. it started here. It started as being a Viking, and it started in the classroom and on the field, and with everything we did, and to go out and have the career that I was fortunate to have and work with some great kids and great people, to now be able to come back and receive this honor, especially with Coach Osmond's name on it. I mean, we all know what an icon he was, and this is the culmination of a career. This is kind of the icing on the cake, per se. To be able to receive this honor with guys that I knew and ran around with, and it's crazy to be standing here. It still hasn't really sunk in.
Honored and humbled would be the first two words. Never in my life after attending Valley City State that I thought that I'd even be recognized for something like this, but this college started me. They got me going. I was fortunate to play some ball here and meet other coaches that were really instrumental in my life, and they played a big role and said, you could probably do this. And one was Coach Bass. Coach Bass said, you're going to make a good coach someday, and that stuck with me for a long time. So, and I really honor that guy for what he's done for me. But like you say, I'm honored to be with these guys, to be recognized with an Osmond Award. It's unbelievable feeling, and it's something I'll cherish for the rest of my life.
Humble is a great word. I used to play when Al Dosh was coaching back in Strasburg back in the day, and that was probably his 30th year. But so to be in this class and be in the inaugural group, I think means a little even more, just because, I mean, you're put together with the Al Doshes and like you said, Dave Basses and all the guys that were honored tonight. I mean, this group right here, and so many kids that we hopefully influenced positively, and they've done great things for us too. And I mean, I think we can all say that our wives and our family are a big thing.
Yeah. Very important to us.
They do a lot for us. So I just had to give a shout out to them.
No, not at all.
In my whole career, I might build relationships a little bit better earlier in my career. When I was young, it was a tougher thing to do. That'd probably be the only thing I would do different. But that's what coaching is about, is to build that lifelong relationship. And I'll be honest, since 1995, I had kids call me almost every year from back in that area. So I don't think I was as good at it then as I think I am as I grew older, but that would be my change.
Just had to get some experience.
Yeah. My change would be patience. I felt that the more years that I coached, the more patient I became with kids and and parents and fans and everything else. But it's, like I said, early on, you have all this hyped up stuff and you want to do everything perfect. But the more and more you coach, the more patient you get. And I think it makes you a better coach.
And just to add, I think that we all mentioned all of our mentors and everybody that influenced us. But I think probably what we all did, and one of the reasons we probably wouldn't change a lot, is because we figured out how to do it our way. And that's why I would say that I wouldn't change anything looking back, because I can look back with pride and say I did it my way for 25 years, and now I've reached this point, and I'm humbled and I'm satisfied with my career. So I think that's important.